Logical Mgtow Spock here, and today's one is going to be, from what I've heard quite often than I thought I would, is that women, especially feminist women, want sexual freedom. Yet they think that's what men have. The basic fact is that men don't have quote unquote sexual freedom, because if they did, then every woman that they would be dating, would just simply open their legs and say, "Stick it in me," type of thing. So basically, just because the notion is that men have sexual freedom is a falsehood, because, like I said, no man has sexual freedom. We have to work at it. Women obviously don't. But yet, here's another one thing that even young um, women in the feminist movement don't realize, especially millennials. The women that are millennials, especially. Do you realize that by women having sexual freedom equal to guys, you're risking the chance of the future to come out healthy? Say, for example, you have a man, and he of course has been around, but he comes out clean in the blood test, right? And you come out clean in the blood test. And granted, I know that not all guys would have a woman do this, but women, there are a number of women that would make sure, even doubly, to make sure that that the guy is clean on that aspect, right? But here's the thing: do you realize if women had as much sexual freedom, again theorized sexual freedom, that men have, or are essentially supposedly having, when they're really not, then the future would come out with veritable diseases and deformities and various other things that have not been found, that have not had any cures found. And it's not the well-known abnormalities, that are illnesses and deformities and inner, and as well as So basically, women, the feminist women don't realize this. You want sexual freedom, you're gonna fuck up the future. You want a guy that is 100% clean. That's a positive, okay? Heck, I want a woman that's 100% clean. If I were to have a woman, seriously, if I were to have a woman, even though I'm Mgtow, okay, even if I were to have a woman, and granted, yes, I'm gonna stay Mgtow, um, I would make sure that she's more than 100% clean, because for me, words don't go 100%. Words can be twisted like a twist tie. Women have been known to lie through their damn teeth. Women are so indecisive that it's not funny. Women do not really give a damn about anybody but themselves. That's why women only want one thing from guys. Women only want guys to go back to the plantation, and so they can get at the guy and try to take him for everything he has, starting from the wallet, which would be generally something like this. Say this is the wallet, although it looks like one, doesn't it? But the basic fact is that's what women only want. They're not the 50s aspect where the woman is 100 more than 100% true to the man. I'm not saying that there are not women that would be true to the man, but guess what though? Women have had the ERA. The ERA is the Equal Rights Amendment. That was the 1970s feminist movement, and the 1970s feminist movement, I've mentioned on many of my videos of Logical Mgtow before, that the ERA marched and protested from 1972 to 1978 for women's rights, equality, independence, and fairness, and various other things, right? But here's the thing. With today's feminist movement, it doesn't seem to be enough. It's as if the feminist movement of the 1970s you used all their energy and willfulness for nothing. That's the look as it is with the current feminist movement. Because if the ERA was enough, obviously, then there would be no feminist movement even today, or even years from now. So guess what, women? Your indecisiveness has shown in more ways than one. Not only in the sense of the dating world, not only in the sense of who you really want to get with and be with. Because the other part of it is that while the guys working to make money not only for him but also her in the dating pretense, the woman has been known to swing over from one branch to the next and see if she can get what she feels that she's entitled to before earlier, a lot earlier than what it may seem to be at that point in time for her and to her. That is the most illogical thing. Women claim that they want to have claimed even when they were very young that they want to be married to a man that would take care of them and all this other stuff, right? And love them. But the one thing is, women, you are letting the small child in you down. And yes, we all have who we once were as children within us. Women have let that child within them down by swinging from branch to branch to branch, man to man to man, and instead of being true to one man and being patient and eventually to see when and if the thing would actually come over to and for them while being with that one man. And the entitlement aspect has no playbook in a relationship, even in the dating world. The entitlement aspect for women especially doesn't have a playbook in the marriage aspects of things either. Women still think that they can get a higher base of entitlement more than the man, especially with the current feminist movement. And yet they want to talk about fairness for both sides, for both males and as well as females, or in their case, females as well as males. Women only care about one person. It's no longer about two plus 2 to 3 extras being the children. Women only care about one. Yes, they have to care about the children if they have any, but if they don't, they only give a damn about one. Them. It's especially in the relationship or marriage, or in the be that of course the dating aspect as well. All they care about is the one. Even if the other one being the man, and shows that he cares about her and loves her, right? That doesn't obviously matter to her. Yet at the same time, she'll try to take him for everything he has, and until he's not able to give her any more, then of course she swings over to another branch instead of being faithful and loyal to that one person. And it's due to their indecisiveness is why they do that. That's one part of it. And yet they now wonder why there's not any good men out there. Ladies, we Mgtow brothers and members have said this many times to you, especially when we roast you. You are completely and without a doubt and more than utterly indecisive. You cannot feel comfortable with one, obviously. You feel that you need to get what you want when you want it instead of being realistic and logical. You can't get things when you want them. Hell, guys can't get things when they want them. It may seem that they can, but guess what? We have to work at it just as much as you would have to work at shit to get things for you, ladies. You want a bright future? Quit fucking around. Quit being so damn deeply, emotionally, psychologically indecisive. You want a truly long marriage without having to worry about your biological clock ticking, ladies. You can't be swinging from branch to branch, even when you have one that's working for both of you, especially both in the relationship and dating world aspects, as well as the marriage. Those who are married to men, and if you think you can swing branch to branch to see if you can get what you think you feel that you deserve, guess what? You're going to find out it's not going to come when you expect it to. Thereby, there's a metaphorical aspect of the wall. We Mgtow brothers and members say that women will hit the wall. The wall will always be victorious. Thereby, that wall will also hit you when your biological clock even ticks even louder than ever before. It's because of your indecisiveness, ladies. It's because you don't have a guy. And those that have guys will eventually lose them if they think they can get away with practically a lot of shit. If you ladies that have guys think you can get away with getting what you want from the guy, even from other guys outside of the circle between you and the guy that you're supposedly faithful with, you will find that you will not be doing any special favors or anything positive, not even for you. So guess what, ladies? You have a big, big, big option. Let's see. One is here's the one. Okay, I'm gonna tell you which one's which. This side right here is the stay single, keep swinging from branch to branch, get your so-called sexual freedom, and then watch your biological clock tick, and then eventually hit the wall as you get older, and as your biological clock ticks louder. Here's the other one. This one right here is where you, ladies, are married and you stay faithful to that one and you don't swing from branch to branch no matter what. You actually logically stay faithful and devoted to him. Because you're not really doing yourself any favors by swinging branch to branch either, even health-wise. Because you think you're in, even if the millennial women think that they're invincible, that they won't be able to get a damn disease, you're crazy. It doesn't matter if you're millennial or not. You can still contract a disease, and it doesn't mean that it would come from the guy. The guy could be 100% clean and you could be 100% clean. It happens. The basic fact is, ladies, Mgtow is not going to say, okay, brothers, let's do a test. We're not going to say, let's have only a percentage of you go over to the plantation and see what happens. We're not going to say that. The feminists want only one thing from a guy: the resources, their wallet, their money. They want to emotionally tear them down to where they feel useless within themselves, and that's not a way to be. And that's not a way to act towards anybody. It doesn't matter what the reasons are, ladies and feminists. And even the Me Too movement wants the same thing on the aspect of the equal to the feminists. Yeah, so guess what? When you ladies are done living on this planet, you will meet those women up there. Maybe not in heaven, though. Because you, in a spiritual, logical sense, is that you, by being unfaithful to the man, yet you think he's being, even if you think he's being unfaithful to you when he's really not, you being unfaithful to the man by swinging from branch to branch to see if you can get what you feel that you are so-called, again, entitled to, you are going against the Bible. And the Bible is much like the wall. It will not forgive you the more you do that type of crud. The more you go from one guy to the next, 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 right? You will no longer join Heavenly Father and our Savior. And in my religion, it is said that you women have an easier chance of getting into heaven than guys do. But here's the difference, though. You keep on going from branch to branch to branch, being, of course, from the guy that you're with to other guys, right? To see if you can get what you feel that you deserve and are entitled to get. You will undoubtedly, without question, not be forgiven. Just because you're a female doesn't mean you're going to be easily forgiven like that, even if you do the sleeping around continuously. By swinging from going from guy to guy to guy to guy to guy, you will only be forgiven only one time. But if you repeat the same process, and if you keep on repeating it and you think you're going to be forgiven every time, you're more than mistaken. Guys are not even 100% forgiven if they did that type of shit. So basically, just because you're females doesn't give you the open door. And the same goes for millennials as well. So, ladies and the feminists, the current feminists of the current feminist and Me Too movement, have fun hitting the wall, because the wall is victorious, and your biological clock will be ticking even louder. And I wouldn't be surprised if your biological clock is making you feel uncomfortable even by watching this video, because it knows, your inner being knows that I'm telling the truth. Your inner being knows that if you keep on being this slut feminist that you are, then you will no longer be able to be with Heavenly Father and our Savior. You will never be forgiven, and you will never get a guy with your indecisiveness. You're continuously swinging from one branch to the next, being from one guy to the next, and so on and so forth. So guess what? The feminist movement of today is illogical, and there's no reason for it, really. The same thing with the Mgtow movement. There's no reason for the Mgtow movement. And feminists think that, aren't we all feminists? There's not one inclination that would even state, even show, or even prove that men are feminists as well. We don't have to worry about anything like women do. Like, for example, women have to worry about when it comes to aging. You may be gorgeous and beautiful now, but as you get older with wrinkles and everything, you can try to fight it off with oil of Olay and all that crap, right? All you want, but it ain't going to help because it's part of nature. Your beauty fades in more ways than one. It can also fade if you're a smoker, ladies. It fades even faster if you're a smoker. Your beauty fades even faster when you do narcotics. Your beauty fades even when you don't take care of yourself. Your beauty will continuously fade, and the more it fades, the harder it's going to be for you women to get any man. Doesn't matter what type of man you want, even a nice guy. Yet, here's the thing. There's been many guys out there in the beginning that have been nice to women. And each time women have thought, oh, I can fix him. I can turn him into a better person. And then right when they do, then guess what happens there? They go exit stage right. And then they try to do it to the next person, then the next, and the next, so on and so forth. It only stops until they see that they can't do anything to that one person, to that one male. That they keep on trying to change him and change him and change him, but they can't, because he either sees it or knows about how women are, or also he sees that she's trying to change him into something that he knows that she'll fucking leave him if he if he allows it. But of course, it goes beyond that. The one thing, though, ladies, you want nice guys, yet when you've had nice guys, you've treated them like dirt. When they gave you practically everything, they took you out. They treated you to different things. They've given you birthday gifts. They've what I used to do for Jill Yeaman, aka now Jill Dixon. I went out of my way as a nice person and bought her some Campbell's chicken soup when she didn't feel well, and that didn't get me anywhere. Now did it? And yet women don't realize that when guys did have the type of thing, they think they can get anything they want from the person and put them in the friend zone. There's another big mistake for women, especially with their indecisiveness. As women do, and many more than many of the Mgtow brothers know this, even Hamster, the Mgtow Hamster, knows that you do not realize that if you do the nice guy aspect, then of course you're gonna be just going over to other guys, and and ignore the person, even if as if he has no feelings. Women do that. They find out eventually they won't be able to get a guy ever again. Yet they do it enough, it happens faster. And yet women bitch about not being able to find the right person out there. Gee, I wonder why that is. Women need to realize it's directly their fault, not the guy's fault. And feminists need to realize that it's the woman's fault, not the guy's fault. It's easy to blame the guy, I know, ladies, but yet logically it's not the guy's fault. So basically, you're judging and assuming the wrong thing in the most sinful way, granted. And yes, I'm speaking spiritually as well. So, ladies, until you quit doing this indecisive bullshit and denounce you being a feminist and do not do the feminist bullshit and do not swing from branch to branch, be that of course, and then until you do not go from guy to guy to guy to guy to guy, even if you're with one person already, you're never going to find that person. Thereby, because of your indecisiveness, mankind, ladies, man and humanity essentially, will be going into the points of non-existence. That includes you, ladies. Yes, us men, we may be non-existent in the base of humanity eventually as well. Yes, that's a given, but it's not our fault. Logically, it is the woman that allows the next generation to happen. After the insertion from the man, essentially, the next generation comes out after the 9 months. But here's the thing, though, too. Here's another thing that women need to quit doing, especially feminist women and Me Too women need to quit doing. Everybody knows, even Mgtow brothers and members and red pill definers know this. Women have the courts. So if the woman wants to explore new horizons, as it were, see if they can get a guy to give her what she feels that she's entitled to again, even quicker. Even after having a child, you're living in a pipe dream. Because no guy out there, even the ones that are wealthy, will take you and have to pay for the child as well. Unless it's his own. Thereby, in Mgtow as well as Tom Likas says, do not date and do not marry single mothers. The basic fact is that even in the state of California, as well as many other states, and I'm not going to say what the states are, there's been judges out there that will have it to where the woman can take you, being a man that's not the father, the biological father, to the child, for everything you have, as she would easily still be able to take the everything from the guy if she can find him. It's like the Mario show, for example. Let's put it this way: in a judicial case, there's also a show called Paternity Court, where they can test whether if the person is the father of said child or not. And at times the person ends up to be around the child in the child's life, and thinking that he may be the father until he and she finds out. So basically, ladies, you be hearing something like Derek. In the case of the child's name and the age, right? Paternity tests have found you are not the father. And she gets up and runs right off the stage. Paternity court's a different one. They're one's the plaintiff, one's the defendant, right? Mostly the woman's the plaintiff on this one. Not always. And when they find out that the test results have completely shown without a doubt conclusively that the male in question is not the father, they get totally humiliated, a lot more so than, well, actually equally so than on the Maury show. And I know women have thought, how could this be? And they try to act like they're not. They don't sleep around, even if they have slept around, they know it's got to be their boyfriend's or fiance's child, and then they find out it's not. Then they find out it's not the one that they've been sleeping around with, the ones that they've been sleeping around with. There's only one thing, though, too. The one person that it could be is never found. Thereby, that one person is like free sailing. And he wouldn't have to be a Mgtow member at all. He'd be free sailing. Single and happy as fuck, right? Women have been putting themselves in that particular predicament more than they'd like to admit. Women want to act like they can do no wrong, but they have, and they continuously do. Women turn out to be from little girls who are princesses who learn eventually, even they do their wrong, but by learning, right? That's a common thing. But when they get older, they do even more deeply wrong because in my religion, I'm going to tell you straight up, in my religion, it is believed by the age of 8 years of age for both males as well as females. You are not the innocent bystander from that point on. You are not easily forgiven from 8 on. Thereby, you sin. The more you do the negative, the more you will sin. The more you do the adultery aspect of cheating or even sleeping around and not being faithful to that one, there's the sin card for you ladies. And it's the same for men, though, too. We men know this. We men have acknowledged this for a long time. You women have not, and yet you've done it. Since the 1990s as well as the late 80s. Even in the 1970s and 60s, you've done it. Even in the 1950s, I'm sure many women have done it. And thinking that they could do no wrong and they would be easily forgiven, yet they find out eventually that they're not. Because they've done it way too many times. Even the one time is still not truly forgiven for women. Because they have the inclination of thought that they can do it again and again and again and again. Doesn't work that way, ladies. Men have the knowledge, even Mgtow men have the knowledge that once we do it, it doesn't make it right. Thereby, we're risking the chance of not being ever forgiven. But even if we are, it still doesn't make it right. And yet, women think the opposite. We want sexual freedom. That's a woman. We want sexual freedom. We want sexual freedom. And essentially, you're saying you want to be like a guy. You want to ruin the chances of procreating a child that has no disease, no infirmalities, no negative things whatsoever. Thereby, you're risking the chance of having a child that doesn't live very long, if at all, even during birth. Because there's complications that can happen even during birth. You don't realize this until you actually are pregnant, ladies. You don't read about it as much as you claim that you do until it actually happens at times as well. You wonder why and how this can happen? Indecisiveness. Sleeping around, going from one guy to the next, to the next, to the next, never staying faithful to one. Right? And also, you keep thinking that you're going to be forgiven. That you, outside of the male cycle, or the male gender's circle, essentially, that women are always going to be forgiven. Because even in society's aspect of one reason that you ladies will try to come up with, which is a load of shit, is that you're the weaker sex. Yes, you are the weaker sex in society's viewing and terminology. But guess what? That doesn't give you the open door either. And when I say the open door, it doesn't give you doesn't give you the aspect of pass go, collect $200 type of thing. The monopoly aspect of being forgiven, being able to do whatever the fuck you want to do. Continuously, especially. Without any consequences and what have you. Because there's always going to be a consequence on anything you do, ladies. And no matter what the reason may be. Even if you want to ignore it, it'll still be there. So, ladies and feminists, you need to realize this and much more. And no Mgtow brothers going to go back to the plantation. So basically, the Mgtow brothers can easily pump and dump your ass because you would do the same thing to us. And you have done the same thing to us. Essentially, you'd be you've been going with us for only a certain length of time until you find that you're not able to get what you want. Then you go over to another person, the pumping up on the female aspect. essentially, the female aspect is really the pumping out the money out of the wallet, the resources out of the wallet of the guy when it comes to the pumping, even before the dumping. And the female aspect is they'll open their legs as long as you men give them everything that they want, especially when it comes to this, the money. That's all they give a damn about. They may try to say that they give a damn about humanity and human life and all this other shit, but yet the only humanity and human life they give a damn about is them. They don't give a damn about you. Because if they did, they wouldn't be doing this bullshit that they're doing, especially with the feminist and Mgtow movement, and they wouldn't continuously go from you to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. They'd stay faithful to the one. That's logic, truth, and fact. Ladies, you can bitch all you want, but it's not going to stop being the truth. This is Logical Mgtow. Live long and prosper. And Mgtow for life. And whoever is not a Mgtow, become one. And be free from feminism and the female indecisiveness that they keep on ignoring that they have. And the men that are not Mgtow become Mgtow. This way you won't be taken for everything you have, because all women want is your resources. Have a good day.